Everybody thinks that diastasis recti is an ab gap problem, and because it makes your belly protrude like you're still pregnant, you have the tendency to want to hide it under baggy clothes. This is the same as having a patch of weeds in the center of your front yard and taking a trash can to cover it up, acting like there's no issue under there. Diastasis recti is much deeper than being frustrated with your aesthetics. Just like a weed is unattractive on the top, it actually has much deeper roots that permeate under the surface that no one can see. At its roots, diastasis recti is actually a pressure problem. Every time you cough, sneeze, pick up your child, or lift a heavy container from overhead, the left and right sides of your abs separate and push apart because the pressure in their center wants to poke outward, and your canister isn't yet strong enough to stay stable, so you get coning at the center line. If you're also having trouble with incontinence, peeing your pants, know that your pelvic floor and your deep inner core muscles, they work together like a ratchet strap to keep all of your internal organs in place and tight, right where they belong. Good news for you is that diastasis recti and stress incontinence can be fixed naturally with exercise programming for your deep inner core and pelvic floor that takes a full body approach that advances over time as your body improves at being able to control intra-abdominal pressure. Here's the but. There are some everyday habits that we tend to do as moms, and there are some exercises that make diastasis recti worse, or at a minimum, it makes it really hard to heal. So until you know that you have reconnected with your deepest innermost abdominal muscles, the transverse abdominis that wrap all the way around you, just like a girdle, that work as a team with your internal and external obliques in your pelvic floor to better control intra-abdominal pressure, then I want you to stop doing these exercises for now. My goal is to give your abs and pelvic floor the absolute best environment in order to maximize healing so that you can feel and look more intact as a mother, no matter how far postpartum you are. Getting out of bed like this is a high pressure crunch, and it's making your diastasis recti unnecessarily worse. Instead, log roll to the side and use your arms to help you get yourself up to a seated position. Every time you haphazardly arch down your back to pick up your children or clean up toys, your core is behaving like a floppy long balloon. Instead, take a knee or bend both knees down so you're hinging at the waist and at the knees for a healthier core. When you favor one hip so that your dominant hand can get stuff done around the house, the pelvis is naturally going to tilt outward or tuck under to create a chair to relieve your biceps. Instead, try using a carrier more often. Being in the prone position for an unmodified front plank or push-ups causes the weight of your internal organs to hang straight down against the sensitive and compromised linea alba connective tissues, causing your ab gap separation to be even worse. Yoga type movements like the chaturanga, sphinx, cat pose, and back bends cause hyperlordosis of the spine. You shouldn't be excessively pushing out your stomach while you're trying to heal your diastasis recti. Avoid doing the typical ab exercises that used to work for you before you had diastasis recti, like crunches and even worse, sit-ups. Don't do jackknife exercise, rapid twisting, such as Russian twist, or use an ab wheel. Avoid doing barbell deadlifts, barbell squats, or heavy press until you've mastered the form in a high rep range, as in 12 to 15 reps, using dumbbells for at least a couple of months until your diastasis recti is closed down. Pull-ups or lat pull-downs if you use a gym. If you use a Peloton or spin bike, ensure you bike in an upright position, not in the aero bars where your stomach is hanging straight down. Don't lean excessively back using a row machine. Lean back only to a 20-degree angle. Jogging and running with diastasis recti is generally fine, but if you tend to stand in an anterior pelvic tilt, you probably run that way too. Quick self-check. Put on a pair of pants that has a belt on. Standing sideways, looking at your mirror, you're gonna look over at yourself and do an honest assessment. Is the front belt buckle in line with the back of the belt? Or are you seeing this? This means that your hip flexors are overly tight and your glutes and hamstrings are too weak. This can happen from pregnancy, from the weight of your baby and the weight of your breasts, especially while nursing. So if you find that you're often in this position, your shoulders are likely forward, I want you to consider tucking your pelvis a little bit under, bringing shoulders down and back. And as you strengthen your hamstrings and glutes, your pelvis will return to a more neutral position so that when you go to run, you're not running like this with your stroller, but rather you're running with that slight forward lean in a nice neutral position. Swimming is fine because your abs are engaged for every stroke and water helps reduce the gravitational pull. If you are 5 months or less postpartum and you haven't done any postnatal specific training for your body after having a baby because you don't think that you have any diastasis recti, I would still urge you to wait until at least 6 months postpartum before doing any of these exercises so that you don't accidentally cause unnecessary damage on your abs or connective tissues. The first step is rewiring your neuromuscular connections between your diaphragm, your breathing, your deep innermost ab muscles, and your pelvic floor so that they can work together. This is important for every mom, but it is essential if you have had a C-section delivery, if you have had more than one pregnancy, and if you've delivered multiples. Just like progressing from elementary school to middle school to high school, then your pelvic floor and abs will be ready to catapult forward to university level full body training after you graduate the 12-week post-pregnancy plan. If you appreciate ultra efficient workouts that honor your time as a mother and you want to remove the need for motivation and have clarity of mind so you know exactly what to do each day and each week and when so that your body continues to make progress. If you appreciate relatable motherhood and recipes that actually taste good that your kids and husband will want to eat, if you are up for challenging yet doable workouts, do the 12-week post-pregnancy plan. You are never too late as a mother to improve the integrity of your pelvic floor and your core, and I 100% believe in the effectiveness of this plan. If you watch this whole video and you're not sure what diastasis recti is or what your 4 measurements are, then watch this quick video so that you can know for sure.